Yo, Adam, what is good? The Pepe Show is finally here, man. How long have we been talking about doing this for?
We were debating in the way back long ago, like just do Pepe shows. That was one of the first ideas was like, if we want to do a show, should we just do a Pepe show and that be the show? So here we are, man. Come almost full circle from those first ideas, man.
Oh man, took a year to get to where we are today. You know, we just announced that the migrations are complete with some caveats, of course. I pinned to the top the spaces for the show. Please make sure that everybody retweets this so that we could get the word out about the Pepe Show. I'll go into details in a little bit about what we expect from the show. What are the plans? We have a lot to cover. But for real, I do want to make the rounds first. Skrilla, what's good, bro?
Yo, what up?
What's good? What's good? Dude, Skrilla was DMing me last night telling me that was the first time he'd used Emblem in 2 years and how he hates OpenSea.
Bruh, everything seems like a rug. I was getting all these like third party. I went and looked at that third party contract thing, and I'm like, yo, this guy. Shit looks like a fucking, I don't know, dude. I don't understand how it's always like this shit can access all your NFTs. I'm like, why the fuck would I do that? Why would I agree with this motherfucker access all my NFTs? So
yeah, fun time. Fun times over on Ethereum, but that's why we stay on Bitcoin for the most part. Dogfather, GM, bro.
Hey, what's good? I mean, I completely understand Skrilla. I mean, it's just a totally different world. I mean, if you come from Counterparty and used to the wallets and, you know, the marketplace and everything, it looks like a different world. But, I mean, you have to acknowledge that like 99% of the people buying the stuff may sit there and they are like used to the other world, like MetaMask and everything. And if you want to cater them, if you want to broaden the distribution, if you want to get fresh eyes, fresh collectors, big collectors in there. I mean, you have to go where the money is. That's it.
That's exactly where it is. I'm letting some people on stage. If anyone wants to come join, please do. We want to make this a very open discussion. Again, that we'll go into some details. Zero G, man, long time no talk. Great interview you posted yesterday. One of our favorite Pepe interviewers. How you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good. Thanks. Yeah, I'm excited to see. You know, the curated collections make this so much easier and like for people to actually know that they're buying something legit. So I think this is really good for the Pepe community, but also I could definitely see you guys with your new marketplace if you guys start actually catering to the rest of the vintage historic NFT scene. No marketplaces has taken even shown an iota of interest in doing that. I think you guys could really capture a lot of volume there too.
Absolutely love to hear it. And that is exactly our intentions. We will go into, migrations, Emblem markets. We'll go into that a little bit. Also, if you guys don't know, Adam and I video live stream this as well. So if you get confused why Adam and I are talking through my account, it's because we're live streaming this. If anyone on stage or anybody wants to join the live stream, just shoot me a DM. Unfortunately, we do not allow anons on screen because my video editor hates just having to edit.
You gotta have a face.
You gotta have a face. That's how the marketing works here. Chris, what's good, bro?
Yo, super stoked for today's show. Get Pepe's rolling. Migration went great. So good to see Pepe's just, enter a new phase of discoverability and kind of open up to the rest of the NFT world since they've kind of been sought out for so long. even though they've had such a huge impact broadly. So super stoked to get this rolling and happy to see where we go. Let's get it.
Yeah, absolutely. For those that don't know, Chris is the newest member of Emblem. He lives out here in Vegas with me. We had our previous business adventure together. So make sure you give him a follow as he's now joining us on the spaces and working with the Emblem team. Last but not least, Theo, man, one of our favorite memers. What is good? And maybe Namecoin Deswayers.
Namecoin's great. I love Namecoin. but the ones that are sold as old are expired.
Okay.
It's not the real one. Anyway, but guess what? I have something better. Welcome to Theo's Rug Store. I'm now officially a rug salesman. You can check it out, rugpull.info. You can get your own special rug pull. You can have it at your home. You can show it off at your dinner party, your house party, your favorite rug, Pepe rug, a real life rug pull for at your home. These are real physical items and you get a token too. And I'm just shilling rugpull.info. I need to do kind of like those furniture store ads where they show like movies with a bunch of ads in them or something like that, but yeah, rugs, physical rugs. That's
do the rugs disappear after a certain amount of time? It's like a true rug pull. It just vanishes.
No, only a few vanish it. I mean, you have the physical rug and it has directions on it. It says pull here and it's up to you. I don't support any activity that hurts anybody. It's only for entertainment purposes only, but if you wanted to test it out, if you could actually do a physical rug pull, you could. Although the whole time after you order and between the time you order and you get it, you probably are thinking in your mind, did I get rugged?
Adam, it's actually called a slow rug. He's going to use faulty linen and strings. It slowly falls apart over time.
It slowly disintegrates. Kind of like my TFP collection.
100% polyester. There's no 100% polyester. Stankest artwork. And how many rug? I mean, you could be the first person on your block to have a physical rug pull. I mean, how many people have a Pepe or a Wojak rug in their home when you go visit them? I mean, some people might have some framed artwork, that kind of thing, but not many people are part of the elite that have an actual rug in their home.
Now, I did see this in
it was like the second tweet, I think. He had a link in there. Last but not least, man, paging Dr. Sus. How you doing this morning?
Yofi, shalom, everybody. Doing pretty good over here. I just got back from the mountains of Kakistan. Believe it or not, we had a little bit of a wedding reception. I eloped just a few weeks ago, but we had the reception. The mountains of Kakistan were just, you couldn't believe this. It was unbelievable. And a quick shout out to Skrilla, my guy. Theo, my man, please, in Miami, Alt Basel, can you please, when you go into New York City and they have the rugs set up on the, on the tables outside on the streets, please go into full-blown character and just shield the hell out of your carpets and your rugs, man. I really want to buy one. That would be such an immersive experience. And of course, Jake and the Emblem team, Adam, you guys are doing the Lord Kex work here with making with making what you're making. It's truly unbelievable. And if there's anybody here who believes otherwise, that these are not going to be absolute madness in the next bull run, then you should just leave this space right now. I mean, not the
space.
Get
out now. Get out.
yeah. Just the Twitter space we're in right now, so you can gather your thoughts and collect your energies and rehone. But unbelievable work, guys. Love what you're doing, and shout out to all my friends down there on the stage. So thanks for having me. Love you all, and God bless.
Hey, absolutely perfect. So we have kind of a long string of things to go through today. I do want to emphasize kind of like what the whole idea of the show is. Adam and I had been discussing this for, again, quite some time. We talked about it in the beginning. We hadn't seen really like a go-to or de facto kind of like Pepe NFT space where you could share kind of everything that's happening in the ecosystem. Adam and I work at Emblem, but we wanted the show to be beyond Emblem. It's just all Pepe NFT ecosystems, notable Pepes, fake rares, emerging Pepe artists who are, using either ordinals, or they're using counterparty or stamps or whatever your protocol of choice is. This is a space to come and, if you want to show your memes or just come in and kind of showcase the new and emerging artists and creators in the space. We will be inviting different guests. Probably we'll do this bi-weekly to start. Eventually, we'd like to do this weekly. It'll take some time over time. So if you have any ideas or you want to contribute to the show, please feel free to reach out or hop on stage and engage in the discussion. Again, it is a very open space. So we're going to start off. I want to start off with Pepe Fest. Emblem was one of the sponsors at Pepe Fest. That's where we revealed Emblem Markets, which we'll go into for a little bit. But I'd like to tap this off to Skrilla. I had heard that Pepe Fest, this was the 4th year, if it was my understanding. Can you just go into the very basic details of the history of Pepe Fest and what it was about?
So this is the first official Pepe Fest where rare Pepes, fake rares, and scarcity combined forces to bring kind of what we've been doing more randomly over the last 3 years to one bigger, longer event. So yeah, we started actually Scarcity through the first one, Pepe's Art in New York during the I think it was 2021 NFT NYC satellite event, and then from there, Fake Rares did one in Miami, and we kind of I think Fake Rares has done about 4 or 5 events prior to this, and Scarce probably done about 3 or 4, maybe 5. But they also set up Bitcoin Amsterdam and some other stuff, so they actually have probably more event experience overall. And then Rare Pepe, of course, just kind of tying it all together and kind of just spreading the gospel of how Rare Pepes came about and how the whole Pepe ecosystem has jumped off, and just kind of showcasing that in a 3-day event, gallery, auction, some nightlife events, and just trying to get just having a good dank time in Paris and sharing Pepes. And it's always good to meet up with people in real life, people that you're talking to on the internet and trading with and just conversing with and just getting ideas. And yeah, it was huge success. I mean, I don't think it could have gotten off any better. Yeah, it was great. I don't know if you have any specific questions, but yeah, a lot of fun over there.
Yeah. So the first question I have, and then I'll pass it to Adam for some of the after. It seemed like one of the highlights was Joe Looney's workshop. I did invite him on. It looks like he couldn't make it today. Yeah. If either Skrilla or Theo, you want to dive into how that event went or that workshop?
Oh, I was just really excited about. I just want to talk about the now they're called Fest Rares. So Joe Looney did a workshop on 2 days, and it was basically a very simplified way to mint on Counterparty using a web wallet that you can use with your phone, and it has a camera function built in. And he also made these things called mint passes, which is basically a QR code with a little bit of XCP and a little bit of Bitcoin, so that you don't have to do a lot to already mint. And yeah, I don't know how many Fest Rares were minted, but somebody already did a Fest Rare directory already in 1 day. So it's already a collection, and I have one, and they're really good. They're all hand drawn with markers or pencils, all on site at the fest itself, and they're all really badass. So that's basically what I have to say. And there was a range of people taking part. So, OG artists, people that have been around a long time, to random new people, to kids. So it's a really awesome display of Pepes.
Yeah, there's a few random people that just came off the streets of Paris. That was a good thing about the NFT factory. It's literally in the heart of this bubbling area in Paris. We had a lot of people just coming in randomly that, their first experience in Pepe. I mean, I would say hundreds of people that never were exposed definitely like stopped by and like gave a walk around, and some of them participated in one of the 2-day, you know, Joe did that for 2 days. What do you call them? Fest rares. So yeah, I think there's like 50 something in the directory. And yeah, it was a good time. And like, I think the rpw.wtf, like people need to definitely check it out, especially like even like the people have been in Pepe's for a while. Like it's making the experience of like the collecting XCP Pepe's like super easy now. Like all your directories are in this wallet. You can mint from it pretty easily, like basically a one-click mint. You can issue and lock the token and everything using IPFS in that wallet now. He's going to add some more features to it, so it's definitely a huge like improvement, like just from 2016 Rare Pepe wallet to like currently. And you could, of course, you can attach it to your ledger, which I think makes a lot of people, you know, happy.
Yeah, way more comfortable. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I had it pulled up here on the screen for those that were watching. I would highly recommend checking that out if you want that native trading experience. Of course, that is always, you know, the most secure way to do it. There's trade-offs on either side. I pulled up here to let's dive into kind of the auction items. It's for those that aren't familiar with Pepe's, they might be a little bit confused or maybe taken aback because there's a large amount of physical items that are generally auctioned off at Pepe shows or Pepe events. It looked like there's actually more physical items than digital, at least for Scarce.City, which I've pulled up here. Would you like to dive into kind of how is that specifically curated and how do artists contribute to this type of auction?
Yeah, so, you know, starting with fake rares from when we really started, we've always been adamant on physical pieces as well. So that's just always been part of fake rares like motto. Having some physical pieces, like collecting the digital pieces and the physical pieces. So, you know, this just was another one of these things where, you know, we literally, I think this one, like overall, might have been like the best like curation of physical pieces. That's kind of like tough to say. There's been a lot of great ones, but I like that. We had people from all over the world submitting to this. I think Paris made it a lot easier for Europeans to submit, so they don't have to send their pieces all the way to New York or Miami or like previous times. So we had a lot more European involvement, which is good. And you know, as far as like there was definitely more physical on the auction site. There was quite a few digital as well, like new Series 16 fake rares that were released, etc. But I think the focus was more on physical for like the sales items. Like that's kind of how it usually is too. Like usually like Pepe WTF or dispensers is generally the way most people drop their fake rares, and Scarcity from time to time has been active in that. But you know, we do like that Scarcity puts up the digitals and releases them. I think it's still a little tough sometimes for people because it's Bitcoin only, and you know they have to sign up and you know put a bid deposit down. So you know there's a little bit of like work to go in before you can bid. So it makes it a little tougher.
Yeah, some of this artwork's absolutely incredible. This one that I've pulled up here was the one by Pepe Nardo, sold for 60 million sats, which is $16,000 for a physical piece. Absolutely incredible. It looks like there's about maybe 50 or 60 items through Scarce.City, and all the bidding is done through the Lightning Network. So definitely a learning adventure for those who haven't participated. Adam, which one was your favorite piece of artwork that I've been scrolling through?
I mean, I like that one that you pulled up, and I know he was giving away. He ran a giveaway on X this past week. I took part in to try and grab the tokenized version. He was giving one away. But our man Bunzy had the what was it, Pepe Cuts or whatever he did
At the barber shop.
Yeah, the barbershop poll. Bro, he put in a lot of time making that one, man. I saw, we were tracking him. He was tweeting out, his build on that one. So my man put in a lot of work for that one. Skrilla, were you a bidder on that one, brother? Or you didn't want to pack that thing home in the on the plane ride home, man?
No. I think for that one, the big story on that is like that the way he did it, it kind of like he made a story out of the whole piece, because out front in his NFT factory that morning and afternoon, he hired a French barber to come over and give people cuts. Yep. So they were able to get either mullets or get Pepe carved into the side of their head. And some regular Pepe people did it, but it was funny too, because like some like just random like Parisians passing by needed a haircut, they got mulleted up real quick. So that was pretty funny, like, to see.
That's awesome.
It was a good time.
One of the underappreciated aspects of the Pepe community is just like the continual innovation and experimentation with the tokens between physical and digital world. Right? There's that kind of infamous X copy tweet where it's like, if you thought you're first to do something, check the Pepe community, because they've probably done it years ago. Like it just show that idea in the culture is just showcased through all these events.
Yeah, I think like with Pepe events, I mean, it's definitely like the core of like this whole like crypto art movement. Like people get involved. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be like a constant creating Pepe artist, but like Rob just sent out a tweet earlier today about kind of the last sentence, and it was pretty adapt. It's like if you're in this space, you've pretty much made a Pepe. Like you kind of are forced to go down the rabbit hole a little bit to see like how your art can be pepified a little bit, and that's a pretty big nod, I think, to what everybody in this community has done.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have here pulled up on the screen as well. There was a surprise B2B to B2B with DJ Qbert, Rare Skrilla, and Bunzi, with special guest DJ Pepe, of course. How did that event go?
It was awesome. We got double booked at this club, funny enough, which happens. And so we got in there, and our organizer got in there first, and she was arguing with the club guy. Like, we're supposed to have the big room, blah blah. But we got there, and we're like, you know what? The small room's kind of ill. It's dank. It's like, we didn't expect like thousands of people to show up, so it would pack it out pretty good. And we ended up throwing it in the small room, had a good sound system and everything. And then it's funny because the main room, the DJ over there, I don't know what the fuck was going on over there, but no offense to whoever that was going on over there, but this shit wasn't popping. And like, so all their people came in our little room, so it got pretty live for a little while in there. And yeah, it was dope. I mean, we were playing Pepe tunes and hip hop, reggae, fucking drum and bass. Everything was kind of going on in there, and it was a good time.
Yeah, it's awesome to see. I've pulled up the itinerary here. It shows there's your NFT factory for 3 days. There's live painting sessions. Right, that event that we just talked about was the opening party. There was the auction, which looked like that's what ended it. We do have Joe, who's joined us on the stage. Joe, we brushed over a little bit about your workshop, which was live stream. Would you like to tell us a little bit about how that experience was? I heard you got kind of a whole variety of individuals, from people off the streets to devout Pepe froggers to little kids creating Pepes for the first time.
Yeah, it ended up being really great. I thought everybody had a really good time, and it was something I was when we were organizing the event. It was like I want to try to do something where like people can kind of experience the process of like creating a Pepe, like minting it on Counterparty, and like having that full experience. So a little bit of a challenge for me, but I think the end result actually came out really cool, and I think it's a cool model we could use going forward for other events and stuff like that. And what I did was, anybody kind of familiar with Rare Pepe Wallet, one of the one of the features that I put in there relatively early, I probably end of 2016, was a gift card feature. And all that was it's a paper wallet with a little bit of Bitcoin in it and an asset, so that you can give it to somebody. You can print it out. You can send them the picture of it, or you can print it out. You can literally give them a gift card with a code on it, and all that code is the private key. And when they type it in, the wallet recognizes that private key as a little special, and just sweeps the Pepe into their wallet. So they don't really need to do anything. They don't need to get Bitcoin. They don't need to do anything like that. They can just use this gift card and kind of claim this Pepe. So I used that model, except I made 0.5 XCP gift cards. So for anyone that doesn't know, to mint a named asset like what all the rare Pepes are on Counterparty on Bitcoin, you need a little bit of this token called XCP, which is the Counterparty token, and you need 0.5. So I made these 0.5 XCP gift cards, and then I just tweaked the UI in the wallet to recognize them as what I was calling a mint pass. I was just kind of trying to think of the best terms that somebody that had no idea what we were doing in there could just like figure out. And so all you need to do is create a wallet. You scan the QR of the mint pass, and then you create your Pepe. You upload the image, you name it, and off you go. But now the little tweak from there is, well, generally people that make Pepes are kind of drawing them on their computer. They're using Photoshop. They're using more than what a phone could afford you, let's say, or what the average person would have on their phone. So that kind of made it more fun. So everybody knows how to color with markers. We all learned that when we were little kids. So it was like, it created this sort of experience where everybody just like felt like a little kid. And I had a few people that came up to me or were a little hesitant to do it. Oh, I'm not good at drawing. I can't do that, whatever. And it's like, and one of the things I try to tell them is, like, you don't have to be good at drawing. Like, some of the best Pepes are not like artistically like classically trained artists, like doing something like so I think I convinced at least a few of them to go ahead and do it. And we had a lot of people just participate, and I did the workshop over 2 days, and I made 60 mint passes, and we used everyone. And there were a couple people that were a little late and didn't get one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the addresses and see if there's any that were unused, like if someone grabbed one and like didn't use it and it got thrown away or something. And then so hopefully there'll be a few there, and I know a few people who didn't get one. Hopefully I can send them one of those so they can mint from the those original mint passes. So yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun. I think everybody had a lot of fun doing it. There's a directory. One of the guys that was there put together a directory and called them Fest Rares, which I thought was great. That the archivist on Twitter, and so it's great. He saved me the effort of having to put that directory together. So, but what's really cool is you can figure out. There's what I did is I did a single multi-send transaction to fill all the mint passes. So you can actually trace the origin of those mints, those 60 mint passes, back to my original Rare Pepe wallet address. So I sent them right from the one that I used to create like Pepe Party and Still Pepe and some of those really early Pepes. So that's the kind of link back to the on-chain link back to the like original Rare Pepes.
Wow, that's really cool. So people were able to, am I understanding this right? People were able to somehow take a drawing basically and use their camera then to actually create the the card itself. Is that right? So basically snap a picture.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a bunch of printouts it was the card template, the template that Mike provided on Rare Pepe directory for creating your cards, like the one the Nakamoto cards on the first bunch of cards, at least in series 1. And so I just made that black and white, made it big on a sheet of paper, added a little QR to help people get to Rare Pepe Wallet quicker to mint it. And all you had to do was, and what's kind of fun too, is like, you didn't even need to take the picture ahead of time. You could just, when you go to select your image, pretty much every phone will give you the option to take a picture instead of selecting an image from your library. So just snap a picture. So it's funny, like some people they were pretty creative. Like there's one that was like a drawing of a beer bottle, but then they just put a beer bottle in the lower, like left-hand corner of the picture that they took. There was these Pepe like flashlight things that would create would like project the Pepe on the wall, and so it projected that onto the sheet of paper and then took a picture. So it was cool. A lot of things that I wouldn't have even thought of. People were very, very creative putting them together.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good experience. Before you came on, we brushed over the new updated Rare Pepe wallet, rpw.wtf. For those that aren't familiar with Joe's the creator of Rare Pepe wallet, which was the first wallet to really trade Rare Pepes. Could you dive in a little bit of maybe what the differences are, or maybe what are the new upgrades to the new Rare Pepe wallet, and kind of just dive into why you decided to create an updated version of it?
Sure. So the latest bleeding edge version, the one with the mint pass capability, and I'm hoping to create like a way anybody can create mint passes. So you can give them to your friends to kind of make that they can draw them on their computer if they're not time limited. So it's rarepepewallet.wtf. So when I originally launched the first version of the newer site, I've used rpw.wtf. And I'd say I kind of did like a soft launch. It's a brand, it's from the ground up, a new wallet. So I wanted to make sure everything was kind of working before I really built it out. So I released that maybe a little less than a year ago. And I really haven't had any issues. Everybody's been able to use it with little to no issues. We've kind of worked out the bugs and everything. So going forward, I'm gonna use rarepepewallet.wtf as the kind of main wallet address. Anybody that's using the RPW, you can keep using it. I mean, it's fine, and I'll migrate you in a way that's you won't even know probably. So yeah, it's the original Rare Pepe wallet was a lot of spaghetti code that just kind of got more and more spaghetti, let's say, as I built it out 2016, 2017. And so it's got a lot of technical debt in it, which made it very difficult to add SegWit addresses and some of the new functions the counterparties has added over the years since it was released. So I just wrote a new one from scratch. Was a little more thoughtful about how I structured it so that I can really build this one out. So yeah, it's a work in progress. One of the great things is you can use a hardware wallet with it. So
yeah, let me ask you there, because just for newbies like myself out here and people who don't really know, what's the way you would recommend people connecting it to a hardware wallet? Should they use one of their existing wallets and just connect, or should they use a fresh hardware wallet? What's your view on it, and kind of best practices for people who are kind of just getting into Counterparty maybe, but want to hold their stuff, securely? What would you recommend for them?
Yeah, I mean, you can use it. So right now you can use it a Ledger wallet. So it's like the Nano X, Nano S Plus. They all work with it, no problem. And so if you're already using your hardware wallet for Bitcoin, you can still use it. You can use the same wallet with your Rare Pepe wallet. One of the things with Counterparty, as opposed to something like Ordinals, is you're not at risk of like sending out your Pepes accidentally. So like you could send out all the Bitcoin from your address and you'd still hold all the Pepes because it just doesn't work the same way. So you can use an existing wallet if you want, or buy a new one if you want to keep things separate. I use multiple. I never want to put everything in one place. So I use multiple of everything. So they're not very expensive. I would say that the way I would recommend it if you're like really going to get into collecting is just buy another I think they're like $80 or something. So just buy another hardware wallet and use that with your Rare Pepe wallet. But yeah, it's really easy to connect. The wallet will walk you through it. It tells you exactly what you need to do, how you need to set it up. Nothing special. And yeah, go from there. I've been using the hardware wallet a lot over the last year, and I like it. I think it's nice. It gives you a little bit of peace of mind that your private key is separate from your main computer, and works pretty well. It doesn't have every function that Counterparty has. So like currently you can't do multi-sends from like from Rare Pepe wallet. You can't do, I'm trying to think, like you can't do DEX orders. So that's coming soon. 2 weeks DM. But I am working now that I'm back from Paris. I'm working on creating some like cross functionality between Pepe WTF and Rare Pepe wallet, so that it's like a more kind of fluid experience between the two of them. Right now, you can use Rare Pepe wallet to like sign into Pepe WTF, but you're more just like seeing orders and stuff. You're not necessarily like able to click on them and say buy or sell. So that's coming, and that should be really nice because you get a lot of market information in Pepe WTF. So it'd be nice to be able to kind of like go through that as your way to buy and sell Pepes without having to have kind of multiple things open at once, cutting and pasting and doing all that stuff. So that's kind of the next thing I'm going to work on, getting that going. So yeah, a lot of stuff to build still. I think it's we're moving in a good direction because we're getting more users and we're not having, people aren't necessarily getting hung up like they used to. I honestly think a lot of that is just people that have stuck around from the like NFT peak bull market are just staying around, and the more they learn about crypto and how to use a lot of the software, it just gets easier in general. So I think we'll probably I'll be answering more questions in the next bull market, I'm sure. But for now, yeah, Rare Pepe wallet, that's WTF. If you want to experience the original Rare Pepe wallet, that's still fine. That's at rarepepewallet.com. It's kind of you can actually do some stuff in there you still can't do in the new one, but I'm not planning to update that. So that's kind of like it's a little time capsule. You can still use that to get the experience of it, but if you want to use a hardware wallet, and you want to do, I've added like sweeps, asset transfer, a couple other things to the new Rare Pepe wallet. So it just kind of gives you it. That'll be the one that gets updated. So feel free to give all your suggestions on the new one, and don't give me any suggestions on the old one.
Feel free to give me suggestions, and they will be ignored.
Well, congratulations on the success so far, man. I know I helped test it with you a few months ago. It seems like you've made a lot of progress. So the old Rare Pepe wallet is now a historical NFT. We're going to tokenize it and we'll sell it off to the highest bidder and call it a day. Exciting times. Moving forward a little bit. I'm glad we have a script.
One thing real quick, Jake. I would say that the thing about rpw.wtf as well that no other place has. And I know Emblem is going to be working on it too. I talked to Shannon, but you can experience all of the art and fake rares like how it should be, like with MP4s and sound and everything like that. And I think that's a real important thing. You don't have to like go to Xchain to view it.
For sure.
Yeah, that is very exciting. Well, I'm glad you brought up fake rares because that was literally the next topic. So we could perfectly segue ourselves into it. Right before Pepe Fest Series 16 dropped. I know a handful of artists at Pepe Fest had some sort of intertwinement between their physical pieces, like I've pulled up here on the screen. Blob Pepe, I know there was some physical stuff. We have Zero G on stage who created an action figure. So maybe I'll start off with Zero G, man. Tell us about this your fake rare. It's Series 16, Card 7, Issue 55. It's an action figure, like a literal action figure. I'll pin it up to the top. Tell us the meaning behind this.
Yeah, sure. So I actually just burned that down to a 50 because my supplier shorted me by 5, so instantly rare.
Sounds like my drug dealer.
It's like, okay, well, we'll roll with it. So it's funny. I had talked to Easy B a long time ago, and I knew that he had he had shown me how he was starting to make his figures a long time ago, but it seems like it's been like a year ago, but I kind of like I wasn't planning on doing anything like that, but I was working with Viva La Vandal on he helped me create the animation for my notable Pepe, and we were able to, like, I don't know, things were really fluid back then. So I decided originally I was going to have that video be my fake rare, but then he actually suggested, I didn't know it was a thing, but that there's a guy in the UK who creates, he uses one of the resin-based 3D printers, it's a little bit more specialist than your traditional, using the spools and stuff, but it has a much higher resolution. So so it was Viva actually suggested using this guy to create the action figures. So even though I'd already heard about Easy B, what he was trying to do, like I purposely didn't like set out to try and yank it or replicate it. I didn't know that this was a technology that you could do on a small scale. So like I use this vendor for the he does all the packaging, he does a 3D printing. The other thing I thought was really crazy is that like those are all hand painted. So that again, it's really incredible. If you see like on the photo, the detail for like the jeans, it's crazy. Anyway, so it took I felt really silly because it took I don't know, something like 4 or 5 months for these to get approved. And I just had a box of 50 of these just sitting around. So, but I'm really happy to have them as part of Fake Rares. I've been a big fan of that, and it's just been a lot of fun. So if anyone is after them, you can DM me, and if you have a OG rare Pepe that I don't have, we might be able to work something out too.
Yeah, Zero G, one of the top Pepe collectors in the space. Incredible job again, pushing innovation when it comes to the NFT quote unquote ecosystem. Rare Skrilla for those. Go ahead.
One final thing is the final thing I wanted to do is I have on the back of the packages, it doesn't show in my Xchain description, there's a small circle where for people who want it, I have an NFC Xchain wallet where the token can actually be stored in an NFC sticker on the back of the packaging for the full like digital experience. But that's optional for some people who don't want to bother with it. But I thought that's definitely kind of a cool touch for people that are really into the physical side of things.
For sure.
Yeah,
Really
absolutely, absolutely good job. Skrill, I wanted to pass it to you as kind of quote unquote the creator of Fake Rares. Tell us a little bit about the curation of Series 16, and I guess just recant a little bit on how the Fake Rares project has been through 16 series up to this point.
Yeah, we were looking for a wide variety of kind of like art that represented Pepe, from like, high level, artistic ingenuity to, like the dankness. Same thing. We curated the same way that we kind of normally do. We put out a lot of cards. It was our biggest drop actually of fake rares. I think we put out 22 cards maybe for that drop. So it was definitely a lot. So it was a big drop. We kind of wanted to do a big drop to kind of like, coincide with like the big Pepe Fest, like the big energy, the alpha experience and all that stuff. So that was kind of our motto with that drop. As far as fake rares, I mean, just is what it is, man. It's just people creating Pepes. We started because, we wanted to kind of like continue rare Pepes. It closed down in 2018. So it was kind of a way to, bring Pepes back over to XCP. There was a lot of like Pepe hype and people making Pepes, in 2021. You remember like the Foundation rush back in the day where Foundation was basically all Pepes. And we saw that there was like, an appetite for it. So, it just kind of sparked us to put, fake rares out. And I think most people probably listening know the story a little bit about how that kind of spawned as like kind of like a bit of a troll, but it was also more meta than that. It was something I've been looking for a way to create Pepes in some kind of directory on XCP, really since it closed, but really since 2020, like I started brainstorming with people. I mean, at one point in the summer of 2021, before Fake Rares came out, I messaged Theo and Joe Looney, and I was like, yo, these guys over here at Liquid, they want to put rare Pepes on Liquid. What do you guys think? And, I wanted to make sure I got the scientist's approval that, it was going to be a good thing for rare Pepes, because I'm also, a very large holder of rare Pepes, and, I don't want to screw up the legacy. So they were both like, nah, that's not real Bitcoin. And, it was always like something in the back of our mind, like how we could keep it going. And, I think it really helped energize XCP a lot. I mean, more directories started coming out, more people started coming over. You had people like Dark Farms just even like creating just like his Pepes on XCP, where he was doing his daily Pepes for a while. It really, I think, brought eyes over not just to collecting Pepes on XCP, but also people making new art, new memes, new Pepes, etc. over there.
Yeah, really, really good job. I pulled up here. Excuse me. I pulled up here on Pepe.wtf the fake ASF card, which you have to burn to submit to the fake rare directory. The current floor is 0.671 ETH, about $1,000. It looks like there's about 1,124 remaining in the collection. Once those are all gone, that is the conclusion of fake rares itself. So still got a long way to go.
Not necessarily. That's not necessary.
No? Give us an alpha.
Here you are, Jake, putting artificial scarcity on it again.
I thought that's what the rules were. Did they change, or are you giving us some alpha?
The rules are that until they change the rules.
Yeah, the rules are all fake anyway. But from the very beginning of fake rares, we always said this is an experiment, and something that we were, we have no idea when it'll end or anything like that. But fake rare, fake ASF, it was kind of an implementation that, we want to make it a little bit different than rare Pepe. So, that was a community created card. And, at first we were only going to drop 1,000 out where everybody got 10 each, the first 100 addresses. But there was a mistake made by the sender. And I think one person got like an extra one or something like that. So then we're like, fuck, we got to create 999 more or something like that. And then we ended up just dropping 20, I think, per address. And it was kind of like a game theory. Like there was a project on Ethereum that I kind of like got the idea from, where they like rugged the project after like 3 series, but it was kind of like a dope idea, where, you had to basically, the same thing, kind of like burn your tokens or your art, because the first token or whatever was like a piece of art. You had to burn it to get it into the directory. And it's kind of like is your art dank enough to, do you feel like your art is dank enough to destroy this piece of art created by, because I think fake ASF is like a great piece of art. It's created by 21 artists that, you know, lended their hand to get that card done in the Telegram chat. It was just created literally in the Telegram chat. You know, people came in and animated and added the Craig Wright audio over top of it. And so it's like, yo, is your art dope enough to, you know, destroy this piece of art to put your art in? And that was kind of the idea. And we knew that, you know, as most of us are kind of in these tokenized artworks and stuff like that, we knew like eventually like there was going to be a play for people to like either accumulate fake ASF, or the price would probably like go higher just due to being more scarce. So we wanted to see how that kind of played out, not knowing any we have no idea how it's going to play out, and we still don't, but we're getting to that point now where it's like, you know, these fake ASFs are diamond handed by quite a few people, and it's almost a little bit hard to onboard new artists. Like for a while, like I gave away most of my fake ASF to artists, just kind of bringing them in, like, here, come give me a card and I'll give you this token, create your Pepe. But it's not that easy anymore. So it's kind of hard to be like, yo, you over here, yo, it'd be awesome if you made this fake rare, and then, you know, you tell them about it, and it's like, oh yeah, but you gotta buy this thing for $1,000 to get it in. It's like, whoa, what the fuck are you? What is this, a fucking scam? Like, I don't feel comfortable doing that, so I don't even do that shit anymore. It's like, if you know about it, you know about it. Because I don't have fake ASFs to give to people. So it's kind of interesting. It's like, you know, the people that have large holdings of fake ASF, there's a few of them. It's like almost like, are they playing to put them into notables? Are they playing to curate, you know, sets or curate cards? Because basically they become the curators almost at a certain point, because they're the only ones with fake ASF left. So they don't have to sell them. They can just bring artists in to put them out. And with that said, we also, at the very beginning of the directory, said, if there was a time where, you know, submissions paused, where people could not submit after, I can't remember exact wording, but it was like 2 weeks or a month or something like that, and it just dried up, then we would have to end the directory, because that would be the end. So, you know, I don't know. There's, like I said, all the rules are fake. We don't know what's going to happen. We do know, like, right now we're slowing down the drops a little bit and trying to keep them more like, I think, going forward for a little while during this like wave that we're in with digital art and stuff, like, you know, make them more like, because you do have to like destroy fake ASF. It is like an economic thing where we don't want people to like destroy it and then don't sell any cards. Like, it's like maybe they should be tied more to like galleries and like events and stuff like that. So, you know, we're gonna finish out Series 16 here over the next you know, month or so. And then, you know, we're looking, nothing in stone yet, but we're looking to put out Series 17 to start with, like fake Basil. Then maybe, you know, we'll trickle in the rest of 17 the rest of the year. And then, you know, starting next year, you know, be Series 18, like hopefully attached to some kind of gallery or event or something like that. And that's kind of like what we're thinking, just like, because it is getting harder to submit. And, you know, we do understand that. And I certainly don't want to encourage artists to, like, you know, put a, you know, month's rent of their house into like putting stuff in. So, you know, it is that the game theory that we knew was going to happen. But that's also why Fake Commons is around, because Fake Commons literally emulates Rare Pepe trading, where you just destroy instead of burning, because there's semantics with that. Like, you don't burn anything anymore, you destroy it. So we destroy the Pepe Cash, and it's like $10 of Pepe Cash to get into Fake Commons, which is pretty much on par with what Rare Pepe was doing back in the day.
Yeah, I will get into that difference here. Yeah, right.
We went down that rabbit hole a little bit this week. A little bit.
Yeah, I got one more thing. You know, as we're on Pepe.wtf, you know, which is such a pivotal, you know, platform for the Pepe ecosystem. I know Al's down here if you want to come up and talk on this. If not, you're all good. Pepe.wtf has added a handful of new memes to the platform, becoming almost this meme superstore or super center with Rare Coco was added on September 22nd, 2023 with a nice thread. And then I think it's Wojak Way was added shortly after. I believe Wojak's been around for a little while. It's already on series 5, what it looks like from here. And then also there's I believe it's the Memeables is the other one that was added here, which I believe is done through Ordinals. I might have got maybe some of this slightly wrong. The Memeables looks like it's been doing really well in terms of auctions. It's 1 item per day, at least from what I'm seeing. 24-hour auction. So Al doing a great and fantastic job there. Adam, are you a big Wojak man? Which one? Which one
No,
of these?
I'm not a fan of Wojak. Wojak for me, I am not, bro. I am not. It's just that meme is never connected with me. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know, man. You guys tell me, fight me on this one. I'm just not a Wojak guy.
Damn, Scarlett, what's your thoughts on Wojak and Coco and Pepe becoming more of just a meme super center?
I love it. I love it. I mean, they're all great. The Cocos, the Wojak. I mean, the Wojak is like, the yin and yang to Pepe on the internet. I think Wojak needs more. I love it. I think Wojak Way is a super slept on directory. I think you're going to see a lot more Wojak art. The Cocos are great. Like the way that Caro kind of came up with the Coco and developed that meme. It makes a lot of sense. And there's a lot of great artists. And Caro's a, super prolific, like, dude. I don't know. He does a lot of shit. So I definitely like that. And the Memeables, I'm super bullish on the Memeables. I think it's like documenting like crypto art history, or like even like not even crypto art history, more like crypto history kind of, or like even like history on the internet, and like these daily memes. If you look through them, they're all pretty relevant. And I think it's cool. I think I'm sure I don't think there's been any promises, but I'm sure there will be like comic books with these made. I've already been hit up by a publication to publish my Memeable in a publication, and it's coming out in like a month. They're literally like, it's a whole new like creative level of like, you're making memes, which is dope. I love memes, but like, as a young kid, I used to draw comic strips and shit like that. And I kind of got away from it, and the comic strip is kind of like it's like using memes and even developing a whole like narrative and story with these things, and I think they're really dope. So I like them.
Skrill, what's the process for a Memeable to submit?
Same as most of them. I think you just go on Pepe WTF and there's a template. They're pretty strict to the template format for now. So I mean, you just create it and you submit it, and it's free market. Like starts at 0 and goes to whatever after 24 hours. So I think that's dope. It's not commanding like a certain price point. You've seen certain ones really resonate with the collective. I think like if I had to pick a favorite, I think Sasha's would be my favorite so far. She like took the Boys Club meme, like the famous like comic strip, and girled it out, which is pretty funny. And she's a dope artist. And I definitely wanted to get that one. I think Bobby Zoo is down there got it. But yeah, I like them a lot. And they're on Ordinals, which I know there's like a little bit of a division XCP and Ordinals, but I love Ordinals. I love XCP. I love them both. Anything that's promoting Bitcoin more and more and getting people into Bitcoin is a win to me.
One question, and this maybe to Joe. I know you developed a way to basically store the image on Ordinals for XCP assets. Have you found anybody really using that, or what's been the response to that?
First I want to just say every time a new directory pops up on Pepe.wtf, it's also added to rarepepewallet.wtf. So you can use that to collect your Wojaks and your rare Cocos and stuff. So I think it's great. I think it's a great idea adding these other tangential directories, because as we all know, I mean, all NFTs are Pepe's at the end of the day. So, but yeah, as far as using, it was, I think what you're referring to is inscribe.art, which is just a little site that I made that kind of lets you add an ordinal inscription as an asset description for Counterparty. And I know the Rare Ordinals I'm pretty sure the Rare Ordinals directory uses it as a way to reference the ordinal. So the Rare Ordinals directory is actually it's something a former Rare Pepe scientist put together. That was Bench, and he started it pretty shortly after Ordinals kind of was released, and everybody started using it end of January, early February. And it's really cool. What you do is you create an ordinal, and then you create a counterparty asset with an issuance of 1, but you do it divisible. So it's almost like fractionalizing the ordinal itself. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they use it. You can if you're curious and wanted to see people using it, you can always just search in XChain the ORD colon, and then every asset that uses it will pop up in your search results. So yeah, I mean, I like Skrilla said, I mean, I love ordinals too. I mean, I think anything using Bitcoin is great. Yeah, it's just another way to. I don't have ordinals, and I don't know that I will, because technically it would be a big challenge for me. But to add ordinals to Rare Pepe wallet, I mean, who knows? Maybe one day I will. But so unfortunately, you can't do that. You can't use Rare Pepe wallet for the memeables. But yeah, besides that, all the other stuff on Pepe.wtf, you can send your Rare Pepe wallet and then see it just in the same way as you can your Rare Pepes, and flip them around and stuff. So
yeah, and Jake, to that point, we like fake rare artists. Like there's a few, at least a handful, maybe 2 handfuls of fake rares that have used inscribe.art, Joe's service. I actually have been encouraging it to artists, especially if it's like a still image or a GIF. Stamp is another one too. Like I think stamps are great for that. Like we've got at least one fake rare stamp in there. But I mean, that's just basically like you're using XCP instead of pointing to Arweave or IPFS. You're using it to point to ordinals as the data provider, or stamps. And I think a lot of people are pretty bullish on that aspect of Bitcoin, since it's kind of inception to the masses earlier this year.
Yeah, it's a very, very good question, Adam. Yeah, just showcasing really cool forward-leaning, project of fake rares that you can use pretty much any Bitcoin protocol for your art. Theo, did you have something to say? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I have an announcement.
The rugs are sold out. No more rugs available.
No more rugs. No, Wojak Way has an event in London, in Mayfair, 21st and 22nd of this month. So if you are in the London area, then I mean, you can get. I'm pretty sure I can't go, but you can get in touch with me, and I'll put you in touch with Abstract, who's organizing it. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I have 2 Wojaks that in the directory. I've got 2 or 3 rare ordinals that I made too. I got rejected from Rare Coco, so they just got but I guess I'll try again. But yeah, it's good to see all the different directories popping up. And
when fake Cocos?
Fake Coco? Yeah, sure. You could do fake Cocos. Yeah. Rejected Cocos? Yeah, that could be a thing. I mean, let's get it at some next level meta. I mean, there's always ugly lines, But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to say that there's that event coming up in London, and there's going to be physical Wojaks, which is pretty cool.
Man, all the cool stuff's happening in Europe, man.
Yeah, dude, all of it, dude. Inscribing Amsterdam is right now,
Yep.
right? Pepe in Paris, so I'm gonna have to move over across the pond. Um, moving on to the next section, you know, the big moment I pinned to the top. We have finally migrated all the fake rares. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been patient with us, right? It started out as what we thought would be 2 to 3 weeks, ended up being 2 to 3 months. Uh, so thank you guys for being very patient. You know, Shannon has been in the lab. We had to build out a lot of tools on the back end, a lot more than we expected, which I'll get into here in a second. But some
Poor
of the
Shannon's aged 500 years, man. He's like, you talk about stress, man. That poor dude, man. Amazing work, though.
Amazing work. Yeah. So some of the final stats, you know, even the tweet is a little bit off now because we're still finding kind of these like edge cases, but it's around 18,000 rare Pepes were migrated to the rare Pepe collection. I think now we're getting close to 1,600 or no. Yeah, close to 1,600 now individual assets, right? There's only 1,774. So, you know, you're approaching 85% of the unique rare Pepes are available to anybody on OpenSea, and getting close to 5,000 unique owners on that collection. You know, it's gonna be quite amazing to see here. I've pulled up on the live stream the page. You could see, 1,574 unique assets. We're at 99 ETH in total volume. So we've done about 20 ETH in volume over the last 4 or 5 days. We've had some top sales as well. I've pinned, or I've started the banner on the live stream. The Sky Pepe was the top sale this week at 3.75 ETH. That is a rare Pepe. I've also included fake rares if you are watching the live stream. So this will be a regular thing on the show. Pepe Fallout sold at 1.99 ETH, Mr. Hansel at 0.75 ETH, Pepe Tunade, and Fake Wars at 0.7 ETH. And rounding out the end, Gox Pepe, Fake Freed, and Fake Auto Pepe at 0.69 ETH. So there is a lot of interest. I'm kind of noticing from a trading perspective that a lot of the lower supply or higher supply, lower value cards are being purchased alongside the shitcoin card, which I've kind of pulled up here as well. Kind of interesting, maybe because they're like beginner cards. There's, you know, a lot going on. Moving on to the fake rares collection. I'm just gonna read some of the stats and we'll go into the details. Fake rares at the end of the completion sitting at 321 unique items, 1,326 total items at 620 owners with 11 ETH of volume. Fake Commons was migrated as well. It's 88 unique items, 167 total, 108 owners. And closing out the Pepe migrations, there's Dank Rares, just sitting at 79 unique items, 136 total items, and 79 owners. So very, very, you know, exciting times to be a Pepe artist. A lot of availability that's going on there. I know there was a lot of questions that had happened. So first I'll lead with this. We were lucky and fortunate to be a sponsor at Pepe Fest. And while we did that, there was a QR code that we advertised, which is Emblem Markets. So you can actually go to emblem.markets right now. You could sign up for a list. We're not going to say specifically what it is now, but you know, it has email, Twitter handle, ETH address, and counterparty address. The only requirement is ETH address because I know some people want to maintain their privacy or they do not want to link their Twitter handle to any of their addresses. So we completely understand that. The reason why we put this is for emails, probably for a newsletter we're going to be publishing here pretty shortly, once a month. And then alongside, we have a handful of things that we want to do. So the more you fill out, the easier it is to reach you and as an individual. The tweet we put out, which was pinned to the Emblem post, which I'll pin up here in a second. Emblem Vault's been building towards this moment for multiple years. We're excited to unveil the next chapter of the journey. Emblem Market is going to be a multi-chain experience, which also offers Emblem native experiences and products. So we're expecting the beta release of that to come out towards the end of the year. So very, very, exciting times. There's been a lot of interest surrounding it. We want to be Emblem, we help assist being the curators of, the curated collections, but we do not want to be the sole arbiters of what is being said. So this type of space will help us, get feedback depending on certain situations. We've already had, a handful of stuff. First thing I want to note here is that, let me pull this up. Some people had asked why the rare Pepes may not have been, why they've not been migrated. So we had to go through a long list of things, of criteria to migrate. So here, I'll give this explanation. And if anyone has any questions, please come on stage or just raise your hand. Pretty simple. So there were 22,000 rare Pepe vaults in general, right? So about 18,000 of them were migrated. That means 4,000 of them were edge cases for a handful of reasons. Either there were multiple assets in the vault or they were locked in a contract. And the reason why we decided on if there were 2 or more counterparty assets in a vault is that Emblem, as a team member and as a team, we do not feel comfortable making the decision on the user's behalf on which individual vault it would go to. So for example, if you had a rare Pepe and a Lord Keck in a vault, first, you're rich as fuck. Second, the rare Pepe collection is for single assets. So Emblem, we did not want to decide which vault that would go to because it could end up being a loss of funds. If we moved it to the rare Pepe and you accidentally sold that vault, the Lord Keck vault goes with it, because in the legacy vault, all of the assets are tied to one single address. So there is no way for us to, break that up because the user owns the private keys. So at the end of the migration, we will put a post out, and all you got to do is literally just go into that vault and press hide so that one single asset is displaying. And on the last sweep, we will migrate those for you. If there are multiple rare Pepe assets in a vault and they're very important to you, you can do nothing and it'll go to the counterparty collection, or you're going to have to unvault them yourselves, store those rare ones, and then go revault them yourself. So that's kind of the situation that's going on there. I know a lot of people were confused. I was confused even setting this up on the back end. It's been, just a complete pain in the ass, but very, very exciting. Adam, what are your thoughts? Are you still here with me? I know I lost you.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, bro, man. I've got to actually switch internet providers, because this is like what, 3 times in 2 weeks or something. It's crazy. Just like literally just everything off at the same time. And so yeah, I got to switch internet providers. But yeah, I think it is a little bit difficult to understand, and the hiding aspect is is one way to do it. If you have cards, though, if you have multiple cards in a vault and both of them have value, just unvault them and revault. Though, I mean, don't hide unless you want to just keep them in the vault to keep them in a vault, and you're not going to be selling it. The one thing we don't want to have happen is you hide it thinking, okay, I'll migrate it, and then you forget that you had other valuable cards in there, and then you sell the one card that shows, not realizing you're selling the other cards in that vault. Like, obviously, guys, don't do that. So just head on a swivel. If they don't have any value, sure, just hide them and stuff. But just be aware of that. We don't want anybody, don't self-rug yourself. For all Theo's talk about rugs and good reminders of rugs, like don't rug yourself, for God's sake, people.
Yeah, for real. So moving past that, we've added ways for you to self-authenticate or verify the contents inside of the vault. It's very similar to how it was traditionally. And if you're not familiar here, if you go to the asset page, so here on the screen, I have Katie Pepe. You can hit the 3 dots and hit view website. And if you hit view website, then it will take you to emblem.finance, which it'll give you a long list of vaults that have the Explorer address next to the token ID. So remember here, there's a lot of trade-offs that we had to do in this collection because they are ERC 1155. Shannon even says serializing ERC 1155, which we had to do for this collection specifically. is not something that thinks has ever been done before. So, we had to really go out on the cutting edge to really develop this type of stuff. We even created kind of its own ERC 1155. I believe he used ERC 1155D and then had to modify it ourselves to get the gas prices down. So some real innovation happening there. In terms of some of the tooling, a lot of people have asked. So we expect the migration fully to be complete. Again, all right, there's no tentative date. By the end of the month, we'll have everything done. I believe right now we're working through some bugs. There are some bugs on Rare Pepe, excuse me, which goes into this, the difference between the burning an counterparty asset and the destruction. And I actually think Carsonated is the one that told me this, that in the early days it was burning, which is more of this like manual version where you could take a bunch of counterparty assets and then send it to like a custom vanity burn address, and that's counted as burned because they can't be traded, or at least I think there's some nuances behind it because that person could have the keys. And then eventually later Counterparty or Exchange added destruction to where you use this one specific address provided to burn the assets down. And then that is auto-tracked within the Exchange. So we pull from Exchange. There's three like different examples that are happening right now. Sometimes it'll show on OpenSea the right address, but then on Exchange it doesn't because of one of these mechanisms. So if you do come across a supply mismatch, whether it's on Exchange and it's showing properly on OpenSea, or if it's not showing properly on OpenSea, but it is on Exchange, there's also situations where it's not showing properly on either. Please let us know. I think we're going to have to get with JDog at some point to make sure that it is synonymous across. But right now we're currently identifying these mismatches. Have not seen it on fake rares, but on Rare Pepe, we've identified about 6 or 7 so far. I'm sure there's a lot. There's 1,774 different cards, so I'm not going to go one by one, but we are attempting to find a solution. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I just wanted to do a quick technical note on the difference between a burn and a destruction. So first, one broader note: Exchange is not counterparty, right? So I know everybody uses Exchange as the block explorer, but it's an important distinction. I think that not everyone really understands. It just happens that there's only one block explorer, and that's Exchange, but it is not counterparty. Anybody can run a counterparty node and query for themselves, and you don't need Exchange for that. So back to the difference between destructions and burns. So when counterparty was first created, there was a message type called destroy. So rather than sending an asset to a burn address, which a burn address is just what you were saying. It's kind of this like vanity address, usually with a lot of X's in it. So you can be, let's say, like 99.99999 with probably a bunch of more 9% sure that you can't spend from that address and no one holds the key. What a destruction is simply a message within counterparty that says, I'm destroying this asset. So what it does is it lowers the supply that counterparty tells you. So if anyone looks at like Rare Pepe, there were 300 that were initially issued, and I think Damien's up to 3 destroyed now. I'm not sure, but I think it says so now. The supply of a Rare Pepe is 297. So that destroy function, it actually is like an original function to counterparty, but it was disabled very early. I'm not sure why. Might have just been for like ease of use and not having to worry about like the supply ever changing. But so it was reactivated a couple of years ago because turns out people love burning and destroying assets. Ever since destroy was re-added, people have been using that. So yeah, the technical difference is a burn. Anybody can do a burn. Like you can burn just Bitcoin. It's not a counterparty thing. It's just and Ethereum uses the same thing. There's that address with a bunch of zeros and then dead at the end for the last 2 bytes. It's the same idea. Anybody can burn any crypto by sending it to an address that you can reasonably determine there's no private key for. I won't get into the nuances of that. That's a whole other discussion. But yeah, and what destroy is a specific counterparty function to destroy an asset. So yeah, it's effectively you do the same thing pretty much. But yeah, it will affect the total supply. So it used to be with counterparty, once the supply was issued and an asset was locked, you could just use that number forever. You never had to query the API again to see what the supply is, because you couldn't issue more, and you couldn't destroy any, right? But once destroy was added, now you can't really do that. You have to query supply as often as you would query balance, really, because anybody could have destroyed one of the assets. So some stuff that was built before that was activated doesn't quite look like the original Rare Pepe wallet, for example. If you go in there and you look at total supply, it's not going to show the supply after any destroys that have happened, because it just is, because at the time it was created, you didn't have to worry about that. So just a little nuance for anyone that wanted the technicals of it, but I'd say you were 95% right in your description.
Let's go. Yeah, there's always something slightly wrong with that, but again, just if anybody notices any differences, please reach out to us. Either shoot me or Adam a DM, or open up a support ticket. Best way to get in contact with us, if there's a technical issue, go into the Emblem Discord, because we are right now working through a few bugs that have popped up. Again, with fake rares, the MP4, there's something wrong with the MP4. So Shannon's working on that, I think, right now, actually, to solve. So those are the two kind of big metadata issues that we need to solve before we move on to the rest of the migrations. Somebody had asked, Skrill was asking me yesterday about this bulk minting tool, which is something we're going to release before Emblem.markets is live. So this is the idea of, let's say you're dropping a new fake rare, you have 100 of them, and you want them all vaulted. You could basically mint 100 vaults at the same time that you'll be able to copy the address all in one click. And then you could go to Free Wallet or Rare Pepe Wallet and then use the multi-send function and send it off. So it'll drastically reduce the amount of clicks. We think this will be very important, not just for Pepe's, but all of the, older, quote unquote, historical NFT counterparty collections like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Crops, and Oasis Mining, Memory Chain, right? Then you go over to Doge Party and all of these different collections. This will be for ERC 721 and 1155. We have to create two different kind of products, but it'll be essentially this idea where there will be probably some sort of deposit address that you send them all to, whatever asset you want, and then you just hit mint and it'll put them all into their individual collections. So that will be live at some point before Emblem Markets is published. Also, Emblem.finance, we are having a new UI that is, I believe, about 2 weeks from being done, from what I've been told. So we're really just going to have new everything between the bulk minting tool, a new front end. I know Emblem.finance is a pain in the ass. Trust me, we know. Adam and I have talked about this many times. Right. The fact that there's also no mobile experience that we've got here is quite wild. So Emblem.finance and Emblem.markets are being built for the mobile experience. So huge plus there for the discovery of Rare Pepes. I was talking with, or Skrilla brought this up last night to me as well, about royalties for fake rares and Rare Pepe artists. It was something that we'd promised, and we were working with Pepe.wtf. Since that had happened, right, royalties went to zero officially. Well, they'll be officially at zero, I think February 29th, 2024. So as Emblem, a team, we are building our future in with the scope that royalties are going to be at zero. We don't think they're going to be coming back. Although on Emblem.markets, we will have control over royalties, because Emblem Vault, us as a team, will be moving to the marketplace fee, right? Whereas on OpenSea, we're historically the royalty fee. So if we control the marketplace fee on Emblem.markets, it means we will be able to offer royalties. We've been talking today and the last few days, me, Shannon, Adam, and the team about how we're going to go about it. There's a few different options. We do want to offer royalties. There might have to be some trade-offs and sacrifices in terms of whether there's a royalty limit or how we share the fees. So, we hope that the community can work with us as we kind of propose these ideas in these types of conversations. Again, Emblem Markets, right? We have to remain, competitive with the other marketplaces, but we also do want to offer royalties. We will definitely start with Rare Pepe and Fake Rares to start, probably Spells of Genesis too. So the Pepe community is Emblem's largest community, and moving forward, right, that's where the priority is, and that'll be the top place. So that's where all the experimentation will go. But we're really interested in hearing your guys' feedback. So once we move a little bit farther down the road there, when it comes to the royalties, we'll lay out all the options to see what is best and what the community wants, because we do want to offer that. But again, right, we have to remain business operational. So there's a few different things where we've discussed, which we think will be a good trade-off and kind of a good compromise, I guess. So we will keep you guys updated on that. Also, some individuals had reached out to us about their rare Pepes that exist on the Polygon collection. We will be doing a migration for the rare Pepes and all the collections on Polygon. So there will be a rare Pepe collection on Polygon. And so kind of how we see this future going is as we expand and deploy on all these other chains, which were also deployed on BNB. And then as we go expand onto Solana and Ordinals and Bitcoin and all these other chains, there will be a feature, which is we've already built this feature. You'll be able to move your rare Pepes in between all the other blockchains, basically with the click of the button. And that'll be very exciting, because then you could go chase or you could go follow any of the different metas on all the other chains. Maybe you don't like the marketplace fee on E, so you go follow the marketplace fees on a different chain, or maybe at one of the NFT finance, borrowing, and lending platforms has better rates on a different chain, so you could go over there, or you want to take Rare Pepe into your Solana metaverse, or whatever the case is. This is kind of like, we think, a big unlock to how NFTs will be viewed across all the ecosystems, and Rare Pepe and the Pepe community is going to be leading that charge there. So very, very exciting times. Again, appreciate everyone who's been very patient with us at Emblem. It's been, a little bit, excuse me. It's been a little bit frustrating. It's been tough, but we're finally over the hump and moving towards getting a few of these bugs fixed, and then hopefully we'll have all of the migrations done shortly. So I know that was a big mouthful. Adam, would you like to have any final thoughts on the matter, or just anything to the Pepe community?
No, I appreciate you guys coming up and sharing a little bit about Pepe Fest. And yeah, it's what are you going to say, man? Pepes are awesome. Pepes are the base layer of NFTs and crypto. So it's exciting to get the word out, because even though it feels like Pepes are everywhere and everybody knows about Pepes, anybody who spends any time with boomers and people in the real world knows that almost nobody knows about Pepes still. So it's going to be exciting over the coming years to kind of get the word out amongst the wider global community about what's happening here. So this is pretty awesome. Yeah.
And again, one final thing before we close it up here. There was a big debate in the Emblem Discord. It was this idea of this supply. It had to do with the supply trait. And on OpenSea, there's two options to go about traits. You either have like the trait filter. So when you go underneath one of the Rare Pepe cards, like if you go under Rare Pepe, it'll say 298. But obviously this makes a bad experience if you want to filter for anything that has a supply of 300 or less. So on the other end, you can have this kind of filter to where you can have this slider. The decision of why we went with the filter, where you could click on the supply numbers, but it gives you all these different options, is that if you do the supply range, then it takes away the supply trait, if that makes sense. So if there's a supply range where you can filter 1 through 1,000 supply cards, then that trait supply number won't be under the card. So if you land on a card, you'll have no idea what the supply is. And so we led with
shoots. Well, that was kind of my point too, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I've been hearing a lot of rumors that Michelle Obama has a big old black cock.
Jeez, these guys never end. Um, so yeah, we're looking into doing both, right? We're gonna have to offer, or we're gonna have to do some customization, but again, we will have full control over all of this. On Emblem.markets. So right now we just have to work through different types of trade-offs, how things kind of complement one another between Emblem Vault, Xchain, and OpenSea. So right, this wasn't originally.
Yo, how's that look if I burn a card today? Like how quick does it change?
I'll have to ask Shannon. I actually do not have the direct answer for that. Again, because we're still working on some of the metadata stuff. So once we finished with the Pepe migrations, right, there were some things on the back end, some bugs that popped up that we're working through. So we're kind of trying to assess all of these. From what Shannon just said, or just told me, he said that it should populate automatically. If you're doing the destruction, it should populate automatically. I'll provide more information though, excuse me, as we kind of move forward. But yeah, just appreciate everyone just giving us just some extra time, just because a lot of bugs and different things pop up, and there's so many different kind of unique edge cases. We're trying to really assess all of them and complete them in one fell swoop. Shannon says the metadata system is a manual refresh. So if it's burned, you just need to manually refresh it and should be good. But again, we're trying to automate all of it, and it'll be more automated on Emblem.markets. There's only a handful of things we can control on OpenSea. But we do have a direct line of communication with OpenSea, and they're very excited about the Rare Pepe community. So they tend to be pretty quick on some of the asks that we have. But again, they don't push through or have a compromise for all of them, because some of them are just like UX things or UI stuff that they don't want to offer just uniquely to the Rare Pepe collection. So without further ado, if anyone has any other questions, you can come up on stage. If not, we're going to host this in 2 weeks again, probably at the same time. Everyone is more than welcome to go. We want to create this as, the Pepe space as we go and explore different types of marketplaces. We are also looking into Pepe, the cryptocurrency, purchasable for Rare Pepes on Emblem markets, right? So you can complete the full Pepe loop. It's still just something we're exploring. We're working right with the people we're building the marketplace with. There's a lot of still moving parts. So just speaking openly as we build kind of in public with all of you guys. Appreciate everything that you have. If you ever have any questions, please, again, open a support ticket in the Discord or shoot Adam, myself, Chris, or the Emblem official account a DM, and we will work through it as fast as possible. Adam, any final words here before we wrap it up?
No, thanks everybody for joining. Appreciate you guys.
All right, guys, everyone, appreciate it. Appreciate you, Joe, everyone, Skrilla, everyone who's on stage. We'll see you next time.